Baseless claims, actual consequences.
Not only is it wrong of her to say that, it's hurtful.
We are hearing from students and school districts as a gubernatorial candidate makes claims that could be dangerous for kids.
Getting downtown Denver back on track.
What they're doing here is, giving businesses an opportunity.
The effort to get more businesses back into the heart of the city.
Sports betting boom.
We're seeing is very promising.
How much Coloradans wagered ahead of the busy sports season.
I do think we'll still see a significant lift over 2021.
First tonight, a wild accusation getting a lot of attention. Heidi Ganahl, the Republican nominee for Colorado governor, claims students across Colorado are identifying as animals and that schools are supporting it.
And we didn't take those claims lightly. We checked with several districts. Denver, Jeffco, Cherry Creek, Boulder Valley, and Colorado Springs 11 each refuted Ganahl's claims, saying it is not an issue. Aurora Public Schools told our partners at the Denver Post the same thing. Dougco Schools told us no comment.
Well, we reached out to Ganahl's campaign for comment this afternoon. We have not heard back.
But in a radio interview earlier today, Ganahl did not back down from her claim, even though districts deny it.
And it's kids who identify as animals, furry animals. And they're allowing this to happen in Colorado schools, in lots of different schools around the country.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon is joining us now.
And Colette, you met with a teenager who argues there's a bigger issue here than just this startlingly unsupported claim.
The key word to really focus on is identify, since Heidi Ganahl is claiming children are identifying as cats. It's taking away the legitimacy of kids who identify as LGBTQ+. And that misinformation is scary for kids who say it chips away at their safety. Homework at the kitchen table.
This is the life of a theater kid right here.
Normally, where 18-year-old Jameson Johnson is after a day at school.
It's helped me be more confident in who I am.
Finding out who they are, something that's not easy for anyone.
So it's just easier to go by he, him for most of my high school years.
And throughout life, doing what's easier for other people.
It does get exhausting.
A conversation Johnson has had and will keep having over and over again to help others understand.
I identify as gender fluid is because I have many masculine traits and I have many feminine traits.
Even with a supportive family, figuring out who they are was far from simple.
Kind of felt like an imposter as Jameson.
A long road all about how they identify. That word, identify, part of a Colorado candidate's campaign for governor, where they claim children are identifying as cats in schools.
She's taking the word identify to use as a weapon. I know exactly where she got this claim because I saw it, and it was on an anti-LGBTQ post on Reddit.
Memes making light of someone's journey.
I am honestly like a loss for words because of how she's using something that is fake and she's twisting what reality is so that she can target LGBTQ kids.
Saying misinformation from the Colorado political realm has the power to create a dangerous reality.
We are already so discriminated against. We're questioned on a daily basis just by identifying as who we are. And to not be safe in that is life-threatening.
But knowing their story has the power to make others feel safe.
Queer youth are everywhere, and we are not weird. We are not wrong for wanting to identify as who we are, because that is just that. It is who we are. We cannot change that.
A 2022 survey from the Trevor Project shows more than half of transgender and non-binary youth seriously considered suicide in the past year. The Trevor Project does have a helpline. That number is 866-488-7386. There's also a trans lifeline providing trans peer support. That number, 877-565-8860. Live in the studio tonight, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Thanks, Colette. And digging deeper now, it's not just Heidi Ganahl perpetuating this unsupported claim. We also found Scott Jensen, the Republican gubernatorial nominee in Minnesota, claimed last week that schools in that state are allowing kids to use litter boxes.
Why do we have litter boxes in some of the school districts so kids can pee in them because they identify as furry? We've lost our minds.
And just like in Colorado, districts across Minnesota deny the claims. And just today, the union representing Minnesota's public school teachers called on Jensen to apologize for spreading what they call dangerous conspiracy theories about our schools.
There are new developments in the police shooting death of a Colorado artist. Clear Creek County Sheriff Rick Albers issuing a statement today saying they are now collaborating with county commissioners to conduct research for the development of a crisis response team. Christian Glass was killed by a Clear Creek County deputy in June after calling for help when his car got stuck. The sheriff's office said Glass tried to stab police. Now, attorneys for Christian's family say body cam video shows deputies were the aggressors and that Christian was going through a crisis. The family's attorneys also pointed to a grand jury recommendation from 2020 when Clear Creek officers were on trial for a different shooting. Now, while the officers were acquitted, the grand jury noted that insufficient resources to address individuals who suffer from mental illness. The attorneys say Clear Creek County has been on notice for more than 2 years that a crisis response team was necessary in their jurisdiction.
And new tonight, a federal appeals court has ruled against DACA. That's the Obama-era program to allow children of undocumented migrants to stay in the U.S. Well, today's ruling doesn't impact those here under DACA, but it does block new applications. And the courts still need to rule on the changes made by the Biden administration to help preserve the program. So for some perspective here, I found out of the more than 530,000 immigrants in Colorado, 22,000 are DACA eligible. And this is according to Higher Ed Immigration Portal, which provides information and tools about DACA and other migrants and students.
So did you try going on to Colorado.gov today? If so, you likely found the message that the homepage is currently offline. Officials say the state's website was affected by a cyber attack by a suspected foreign actor targeting government websites across the country. Now, it's not clear when the homepage will be back online, but until then, there is a temporary page so people can still access services in specific websites.
Downtown Denver is looking to get back to pre-pandemic business traffic.
Now, the city and the Downtown Denver Partnership believe getting businesses to open up on the 16th Street Mall is a key part of the solution. And this comes as a second round of the PopUp Denver program's been announced. As new businesses apply, the winners from Phase 1 are figuring out what's next.
Denver 7's Rob Harris talked to one business owner leaving his shop.
You've never really seen anything like this, a gallery like this on the mall.
For the last 5 months, 918 16th Street had a special tenant.
My art is always very Denver-centric, representing Denver, so it was only right that we be right here.
His friends and followers know him as Jolt, and you might know him for his amazing murals around town. But he spent the summer as part of an experiment downtown to see if, by removing some of the cost barrier small businesses face, we can reinvigorate 16th Street Mall.
You know, the 16th Street Mall is, iconic part of Denver.
Jolt was one of 5 chosen in Phase 1 of the PopUp Denver program.
Welcome to the 16th Street Mall.
We caught up with him at his pop-up shop going away party. As his period of free rent through the PopUp Denver program comes to an end, so will his time on the 16th Street Mall.
It's a challenge just having small business, period.
Of the 5 businesses chosen for Phase 1, we're told 3 of them will be sticking around on 16th Street Mall after their free rent ends. The folks at the Downtown Denver Partnership say they knew going into this it wouldn't be the right fit for every business permanently, but they still view it as a success overall. And they've learned lessons in Phase 1 that'll help them in Phase 2.
What is it downtown that's compelling enough to come work here more than 2 days a week?
Sarah Weavenson with the Downtown Denver Partnership says one of their goals going into Phase 2 is to imagine the next generation of businesses downtown, since fewer people are working in offices. Customers are looking for more dining and experiences, she says. So unlike in Phase 1, they'll be able to accept businesses like restaurants that need an on-site kitchen.
I think the goal is not to return to what was, but to build back better. So really thinking about amenities and events and really fun things to make it fun to come to work again.
Even though Jolt's time on 16th Street's come to an end, he says it was a great opportunity, and he's excited to see what the entrepreneurs coming after him do with the chance.
It's a great opportunity, on the economic level, and then bringing more culture here as well.
For Denver 7,
I would encourage people to go for it.
I'm Rob Harris.
And the Downtown Denver Partnership expects to start accepting applications for Phase 2 in February. Selected businesses can get up to 3 months of free rent along with a stipend for marketing and design costs.
Well, the numbers keep on growing for sports betting in Colorado. Take a look at this. The state saw a 12% increase in total wagers from July to August, more than $290 million, and that is up 37% from the year before. With 99% of the sports bets happening online, we asked Superbook Sports what this means for this football season underway.
I think the real test is going to be when we look at September and October year over year. It's going to be even more interesting because as you go into the football season, there's already a significant seasonality lift. So that's going to be the real test to see what that growth is.
While baseball was the top sport in August, Superbook Sports says football is king.
And speaking of football, Air Tracker 7 flew over Empower Field in Mile High today, ahead of tomorrow's big showdown between the Denver Broncos and Indianapolis Colts. And yes, Denver 7 is the only station showing the game on television. We will all be here. Our coverage starts at 5 p.m. Kickoff is just after 6, and special post-game coverage immediately follows the game. And ahead of tomorrow night's game, the mascots for both the Broncos and Colts had some fun filming TikToks together at Red Rocks. Take a look.
We're filming the exact same TikTok at the exact same time. Let us know which one you see first. Comment below which one you saw first.
Blue, the Colts mascot, is known to pie opposing fans in the face. So just a word of caution, if you see him at the game tomorrow, you just watch out for his shenanigans.
And with the game on Denver 7 tomorrow, there will be changes to programming. So ABC's Thursday night slate of shows will air on our sister station, Local 3, starting with Station 19 at 7 o'clock.
Looks like we have a winning weather forecast for the Bronco game tomorrow night.
Something to prove.
He's one of those guys, too, once he gets in his groove. Watch out.
Broncos not wavering in their support for running back Melvin Gordon.
Plus, applications will soon launch for federal student loan forgiveness. And after the break, we will have everything you need to know before you apply.